demonstration. So the first one is everyone got 20 minutes. That was for 15 minutes demonstration, and then 5 minutes of feedback and exchange of ideas. And I believe there will be someone at the end of the classroom to give you a notice when there is 10 minutes or 5 minutes 5 minutes left. So to notify you, to tell you to shut up. No, sorry, just kidding. To tell you that you only have 5 minutes left, and then we will go proceed to the next person. And then I was told by the staff that because they are doing the video things, that's why you can't pass the second row. So for the convenience for the filming of the whole video. So when you are doing the demonstration, please bear in mind that you can't pass the second row.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's truly an honor to be with you, all of you today. I will share my teaching demonstration of EMI course about calligraphy, regular script. And there's a section and like this, and just follow my step. 所以要从头一遍吗？不用。OK， Section 1， 现在是有声音的吗？有 OK。Section 1, self-introduction. In this section, I will introduce myself briefly. And my name is Ting-Yu, and sorry, I have some numbers. My research focus on ink painting and calligraphy, and I just joined the Department of Fine Art at NTNU. So I have not started teaching EMI course yet, and this year. So this is my calligraphy work. I write this piece in isolation hotel at COVID-19 2020 in Shanghai, and it explains my missing of hometown. Okay, and Section 2, course design background. The calligraphy course about regular script is designed for first year students, and most of them are local. But I have also 3 international students. To support them, I use English alongside Chinese during the class. So, and take a look at the screen. There are 4 different style calligraphy, and like Oracle seal script and clerical script and regular script. In the course, I will introduce the history of the calligraphy, and I will explain the relationship between the different style calligraphy. And Section 3 is course content. There are 4 main parts. Okay, it's part 1, a briefly history of calligraphy, and this is part 2, aesthetic appreciation. And take a look at this photo that the exhibition dialogue was presented by artist Dong Yang-zhi at Metropolitan Museum in New York in 2024, just last year. And the content, you can see 行于其所当行，止于其不得不止。And this a quote from Su Si. The content, the most interesting is the character structure, because the structure is throw each other and mix together. So it's so different from traditional calligraphy. Okay. And it's worth mentioning that the artist Dong Yang-zhi, she graduated from NTNU. So I'm proud of her because I also graduate from the school. Okay. And after the classical calligraphy, we can take a look at the picture. The artist write on the wall in outside space or public space. And is it calligraphy or graffiti? It's worth to discuss question. The artist Chen was living in Hong Kong, and he always write everywhere. And he claimed that the land of Jiulong belonged to his family. So he always called himself Jiulong Huangdi. So how so different between the two artists? And in the course, we will appreciate and discuss the different style, different artists and his work. Okay. And the part 3 is tools and the material. In the course, we will use a brush like this and paper and ink. But if you are old school style, you can use ink stick and ink stone like this, and you seal and ink pad that we use. So part 4 is technique demonstration. The important part of the course, I focus the students' writing practice. So through my demonstration, they will understand the writing process more intuitively. Okay. And section 4 is teaching demonstration. In the demonstration, I use a simple question to illustrate my approach. The simple question is, what is a good line? Okay, what is a good line? And calligraphy line will create through the movement of brush. So the follow question is how to hold the brush. So there are main two techniques. First, the center tip writing. In Chinese, we say 中锋用笔. And the second is the side tip writing. In Chinese, we say 侧锋用笔. Okay, so and this is brush, and this is a body of brush. This is tip of brush, body, tip. Okay, so Center tip writing means hold the brush vertically, like this, vertically, and the body of brush goes before the tip, like this, and the tips stay the center of the brush, like this, and the movement concentrate the force, like this, okay, like this. So and in Chinese we say 力透纸背, like this. So the result, we make the full and rounding and strong line, like this, okay. And so what is side tip writing? Side tip writing means we hold the brush at an angle, but not vertically. So like this is side tip writing, and the tip goes before the brush body, and the tip does not stay the center of stroke. It creates the slender stroke, like this, center stroke, and with flying white effect. In Chinese we say 飞白, a flying white effect. Okay. 5 minutes. Okay. And there are also two viewpoints to describe the conception of 中锋用笔. When I was a young student at NTNU, my calligraphy teacher, Professor Du Zhonggao, he always use the term 射镜. 射镜 means the friction between the brush and the paper. So okay, and another classical explain for the technique is the 屋漏痕. In the past, the mood board were not smooth. So when it rained, the water falling down like this, not straight. So the movement beautifully represent the center tip writing. Okay. And section 5 assessment. In the course, I assess students by 3 ways. Observe students writing in class and let students do the homework, and then make the learning portfolio. The last section is conclusion. One thing I feel interesting is that my 3 international students, they come from Indonesia and Malaysia. They more curious about the calligraphy class than local students. They ask more questions and they do more homework. And take a look the screen. This is the homework this week. We write a letter to lover, and by a small regular script. And the one of them, her name is Li-Wen. She asked me how to do if write the wrong word. And my suggestion is, if you don't mind the wrong writing, I think you could finish it. And the wrong writing is natural, and the nature is good. And after my suggestion, she finished his homework, and I think his writing style is lovely, and his letter big missing. And so finally, I think the EMI course as a positive challenge to me, it's perfect reflect the spirit of teaching and learning enhance each other. In Chinese, we say 教学相长. And thank you so much for listening.
Perfect time control. Perfect time control.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Right. So we have 5 minutes of feedback and suggestions and exchange of ideas. So the floor is open. So I don't know if you have any comments, please just raise your hands. Yeah, please.
Yes. It is very good and very informative. Thank you.
And please speak slowly because my English is poor. Okay. Sorry.
Actually, I just have one suggestion. When you are doing your demonstration
yes.
using a brush, not many students, because of there's some angle, we cannot really see. So maybe as a teacher, as instructor, maybe you can think whether all students can capture the angle of
Yes.
your demonstration. Because from here, it's hard for me even to see the brush and the stroke, something like that. So it's just like a comment. Next time during demonstration, you need to check whether all students can really see the demonstration, like the angle is perfect, something like that.
Yeah. So maybe you should turn the 360 around, like you're doing this to make everyone see the angle.
This is a demonstration about 15 minutes. So, but in real class, every student come to around me,
Oh, I see. That's
and
right.
I just show my like this. I just like this. I just write in the paper, and every student just.
So they can see
yes,
clearly
yes,
about
yes, yes.
what he's doing.
But this is just 50 minutes, so
Yeah,
I.
of course. Yeah, I really count, what we can learn from 15 minutes, but
Yes.
because usually the class is for 50. And may I ask, how many credits is for this module? 3 hours, 2 hours? How long is this course?
You say in the real.
In the real, in practice.
Every week, 2 hours every week. So,
every week.
and
How many students do you have?
31.
31. There's having 31 students just go around
Yes,
you.
but
It will be hard for them to watch you, right?
but yes, but I try to do this because I can't.
Engage everyone.
I can't. I just talk, and students they don't understand what is this. They must look, and because the angle, the different angle just 差一点点.
Very nuanced. There's a very nuanced, difference,
So I must-
So
I must explain the angle is like this or like this. It's different. The light quality is different. So first I teaching demonstration lay around me, and finish the demonstration. I will go to every student and see his homework and explain his line, the quality is good or bad, and how to change the situation.
you need to bring the brush to the classroom so that you can show them how to do it? I mean, do they need to bring the brush, their own brush to the classroom?
Yes.
So they can do the practicing.
Yes, they when I finish my demonstration, they need to practice in class, so I can just watch everyone's situation and yeah.
Right, it is very interesting. You have 2 minutes left, but I do have a questions for you.
Okay.
May I take a liberty as a moderator? So you mentioned about this very, I would say, a difficult Mandarin idea. For example, like
设计.
So
Okay.
how with your international students, Taiwanese Mandarin, could they understand what 设计 is?
I try to explain 设计. I say the friction. The friction between the brush and the paper,
Oh,
and
I
like
see.
this feeling.
Yeah, because I have been wondering about this, because even like as a Taiwanese, 设计 sounds very difficult concept for me.
Yes.
So I just thought that maybe you should use the chalk to write on the backboard and to show that it's kind of like that kind of friction between. But you say the brush and the paper.
Yes,
so, yeah.
And okay.
Yeah, I just feel like it's very hard when you're students, because we all know that there are something lost in translation when we are using like different languages. Definitely some, for example, there are some English terms that we can't translate it into like Mandarin or Taiwanese, and there are some Taiwanese terms that we can't translate into English. So
yeah, I think it's difficult to explain the classical calligraphy. There are many 专有名词 and in English, so it's my.
Don't worry, just tell them feel it. You will feel it.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My name is Lung-Kuang, and I come from the Yilan County. I am an associate professor of the Department of Communication at Fu-Lun University, and I am the teacher of the reporting and writing class. I want to develop the students' essential reporting and writing skills. Okay. Okay. Every meeting in this class, we include 4 kinds of instruction. There are roll-up, professional, roll-up and professional concept instruction, single pair shared, group interaction, and assessments. Okay. The teacher use the roll-up to help students start thinking in English by engaging their mind, shifting their focus to the language. Okay, so we can use the roll-up skills and to teach to let the student have an interest to this class. Okay, to the content. Okay, the teacher use professional concept instruction to help students learning journalism and communication knowledge by engaging the class activity. So we have some instruction activity included. We maybe lectured and reading or something. The teacher also use the TBS and the group interactions to help students start participating in class in the activities, shifting their focus to the interaction with classmates, and creating a positive sharing ideas atmosphere conducive to participation. The teacher also used the assessment tools to help check students' learning outcomes and create a positive, fair instruction atmosphere conducive to learning and participation. My class is the undergraduate student aged from the 19 to 21. And they are all Mandarin speakers without the EMI the experience. Okay. Now, I have a lecture to teach the EMI lesson in English. The lesson is the 5W1H and the inverted parameter styles. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever read a news article and feel you understood the whole story from the first few lines? That is not magic. It is a structure. Now we will explore how journalists craft those clear, powerful leads using the famous 5W1H framework and the inverted parameter style. By the end of this lesson, the student will learn some of the objectives. 1. Identify the components of the 5W1H framework in a news article. 2. Explain how the inverted parameter style works. Now we introduce the 5W1H framework. What news story do you remember recently? Can you tell us the details of the news story? Do you want to know what the components of a news story are? What is the structure of the news coverage? Okay, let us look at the news headline. Israel approves plan for Gaza ceasefire and hostage release. These news headlines include 5W1H. Who? One, who? Who is the Israel or Israeli government? 2. What? What is approves plan for Gaza ceasefire and hostage release? Okay. Where? Where? Maybe in the capital of the Israel, because the newsman, newspoker maybe publish this news at the capital of the Israel. When? Last week from Monday to Friday. Any day after the news is published. 5. Why? You should know the conflict with Israel and Hamas. Maybe you know the background. 6. How? According to timing or important dimension. What is the process of a news story? Let us identify the 5W1H. The 5W1H framework consists of the fundamental question of journalists must answer to ensure complete and accurate news coverage. The 6 questions: who, what, when, why, how. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. From the foundation of the news reporting components and help a reporter gather all essential information for their stories. What are the details of 5W1H? The who is the people involved in the story? What is the event that took place? So this is the main point of the news story. Okay, where is the location of the event? Okay, when is the time of the event occurred? Why is the reason behind the event, and how is the manner in which the event occurs? Okay, so this is 5W1H. Okay, now we have understood the core component of the 5WH framework. Let us engage in paired discussion to deepen our understanding of its practical application in news reporting. So we now in pairs identify the 5W1H. We divided four groups, and maybe the pairs can discuss each others and answer these questions. Okay, now we don't. Okay. Journalists often use the inverted pyramid styles. The most important information goes first, and decrease less important paragraph. Okay. A key concept in journalism that structure with learned inverted pyramid style of writing. The most important information appear first, and then the details will decrease in importance. The components of the inverted pyramid style, there are lead, background, supporting details, and maybe some graphs and additional information. We call this is inverted pyramid writing styles. The first paragraph is lead. Lead includes who, what, when, and where. The second paragraph is background. The background includes why. And then, after the third paragraph, there are body 1, body 2, body 3, body 4, and until the final paragraph. There are both timing and important dimensions. When the timing goes up, when the time goes past, they can write something details, and the important dimension, they are decrease the importance every paragraph. Okay. Okay, let us do a quick challenge to write a one-sentence lead. You can read this article and write the one-sentence lead. Okay, after the lecture, we learned how to write the inverted pyramid style. So, one, you learned the 5W1H framework, a foundation of the journalism. Two, you apply the inverted pyramid structure to real example. So, after this lecture, the student will learn this professional knowledge and have these skills to write a news coverage and will become a good journalist. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think this is really enlightening for me. I know how the journalists write their reports and writing. Right, so the floor is open. If you have any comments and suggestions, feel free to raise them. Yes, please.
I think this is good. You don't have very busy on this slide. I think it's good for me because I'm new in this topic. It's easy for me to catch up with what topic. And I just curious though, for the example that you give to the student, so you mainly use the news articles, is that correct? Do you have any other kind of example, like kind of article besides the news in this kind of topic?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you say that example.
Yes, the examples.
Okay. Yes. I give the example on the Slido. Okay.
Oh.
So they can scan the QR code and the link to write on the Slido. Okay. So I can see how the student write in the Slido.
Yeah, because the inverted pyramid theory actually also can be applied to the journal article, the scientific writing, right? You start with the important first, and then I just want to relate this concept to like more rigid academic background. That's it.
Okay, yeah.
So do you use like any other kind of article, for example, like the article from magazine to show the students?
Okay, yes.
Or I do show those like very academic like research article to demonstrate students like actually there are some way you start from the most important points, or like mainly just news article.
Because the demonstration only 15 minutes. So in actual lecture and class, I will prepare a lot of some examples. Thank you.
Is there any like? I have only like one comment about a slide. I think the size of the words, like sentence, a little bit small for me. Like if your class is quite big, if your classroom is spacious, the student that's sitting at the back of the classroom, they might have some difficulty to see the words, the sentence there. So maybe you can enlarge them. Like, And also I love the idea of using Slido, because sometimes students they feel like they can use Slido to ask questions, scan the QR code to do lots of things, because we all know students are silent most of the time and they are not really happy to engage, and then by using Slido you can actually make them more like engaging in the class. So I really love that part. Yes. So thank you Professor Will.
Hi everyone, it's nice to be here and learning from you all. I'm Nirmin Juber. I'm just get hired, just like Dr. Chen, right? 3 months ago. So I started as an assistant professor at the Health Promotion and Health Department at Shida National Taiwan Normal University. So today I would like to share my experience, because this semester I teach 2 EMI courses. For today, I would like to share with you one of my course, which is studies of health aspects of aging. So this is 3 credits class, and this is an elective course offered by my department. It is dedicated for master's and PhD students. However, because of there's one undergrad, the student exchange program, she really want to join this class, so I take her in. And today, I would like to cover the topic that I have given in the 3rd week, which is healthy aging. So I would like to let them know about the definition, the component, the concept, and the measurement. Let's get started with course overview. Before we talk about healthy aging, I would like to share with you about the profiles of my students. I have very diverse students. Here you can see, as I mentioned, I have an undergrad, 1 student, 8 master students, and PhD, 5 students. In total, I have 14 students. Remember, this is an elective course, so for this kind of amount is already considered a large number. And for the gender distribution, female are more in my class than males. And you can see here the age range, it's so diverse, started from 19 to even 65 years of age, even above it. I have 2 senior students just get admitted to PhD degree in my department. So it's kind of diverse. In terms of educational background, you can see the diversity here, like there's a lot. Mostly, they are from health education because I belong to health promotion and health education department. So there's no wonder many students enroll in this class from this department. However, I also have students from psychology, sports science, social work, social policy, and child and family science. Even though they're so diverse, but actually this is something related to health as well. So it's not hard for students to catch up with the topic. And the diversity also can be seen here, the country of origin. Most students are from Taiwan, and the others are from United Kingdom, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, Germany, and Ethiopia. So this is a very diverse class, and I tried not just focusing on the topic, but also to give an example in the global health. So I want to bring them not just in the local example, but also at the global levels. And in terms of their English proficiency, start from B1 for the first year of master students until C2, even native speaker in my class. Again, it's very diverse. There's varying degree of English proficiency in my class. So this is the course description. So basically, I want to introduce students the health issue related to aging. Aging is a very popular topic. I want them to think it from global health and health promotion perspective. I want them to be able, by the end of this class, know the strategies to promote healthy aging. And I emphasize healthy aging not just for those who age 65 years or above, because all of us now, we are aging, right? It's because of time. Aging is just a definition of living, other definition of living. And we need to somehow an active and successful process of this aging. Again, I would like to bring them the aging concept to the health promotion. And also because the full course name of this course is Studies on Health Aspect of Aging. So I mentioned the studies. I would like them to read many papers. I would like them to know from the example from previous studies at global level as well as the local regional level. So here, the concept of healthy aging, the strategy for promoting healthy aging, as well as want to update their knowledge in terms of research and strategies addressing this topic at regional and global level. So this is the course description. Because I have very diverse students, it comes with challenges. Especially I am new here, so this is something that I'm still learning how to improve it. But the first challenge that I realized, I observed, is there's a mix of local and international students. I would like to have an active class. I would like to engage with students. So every time I ask, do you have any question? Do you have any concern? The one that raised their hand are international students. Like all, I can say 100%. So, but I would like to, sometimes I feel bad though. Sometimes I just say, please let's we give like moment or opportunity for our sisters. I just say the sister for a first year master student, local student, for them to speak up. And I emphasize not just in first class, but in many classes that you are free to speak up. Just speak up, it's fine. If you need our help, let us know, but I would like to know whether you have an opinion or even you can relate some concept to your real life stories, because we learn from the stories as well. So yes, I'm still learning how to involve the local student, but now I can see the progress. This is already the 7th week. They started to open up. Maybe not during the class, but after the class or even after break, 1 or 2 students, they approach me and start to ask questions one-on-one. So I just realized that they have different learning technique. The approach should be also different. So that's why I create an like office hour outside the class, and also I encourage them to email me to ask any question. And also because I have this diversity in terms of the educational level, the baseline. Not many people know how to read scientific paper. That's why some find it difficult and some are not. This challenge actually led me to realization that it's also an opportunity here. First, because of this diversity, there's a mix of the profile of student. I can introduce a various learning assessment, started from quizzes, group discussion, and individual dialogue. I realized for local student, if I ask them right away, they're panic, and that's why I learned to give them more time. And I also use a quizzes with different color. For those students who are not comfortable with English, sometimes they just want to speak up and just like a pause. And I just ask them which color represent your answer. Because the quizzes, actually I got it from Quizzes app. This very good application if you want to use it. And it's so colorful, so students just can point out which color represent their answer. By that, I know whether they are on the same page or on the same track or not. Last but not least, because not many students know about how to read scientific paper, it gives me an opportunity to integrate. I teach them how to read scientific paper. So it comes with step, but now they are getting more comfortable to read scientific paper. At first, they are really hesitate. Some even they raise their hand, no, we don't want to do this because we never do something like that. I say, no, we will learn. We'll take time and you will learn it over time and it will be easier for you later. And now they are really like the discussion and then the topic, because I give different topic, different country each week for the weekly paper reading. So this is my learning objective. It's a lot actually, but my point is this is what I created in the syllabus of this course. First, I want them to demonstrate the definition of healthy aging, and then explain to me the component. As if you remember in the first page, I mentioned that that week, I would like to have 4 things. First, the definition. Second, the component. Third, about the measure, as well as the measure, and then the theory, the related concept related to healthy aging. So basically, these are 4. There are just 4 topics. The main point that I will cover in that week. So yes, I introduced them to new term, and they somehow get to know very complicated term, but now they are used to it. And then I integrated lesson, slide, and interactive activities such as discussion, quizzes, and dialogue. And I use spiral-based learning method. I try to refresh their mind. I prepare 5 slides each week for them to memorize what we have learned last week. So just like continually, otherwise they will forget. And how to elicit student performance, the active participation. And by checking their understanding during the pop-up quiz, as well as to verify their understanding using group and the individual discussion. And then this is how I assess through quizzes, as I mentioned to you before. And also I invited external guest speaker. I asked them to be active. If they don't want to raise their hand during the talk, give me the question. I asked them to prepare 5 questions for me after they read the material 1 week before. So this is my strategy to cover all type of students. Yes, so basically this is the main point. I always provide the outline. This is the definition, the component, the concept, and the measurement. And for the component, for example, I stop doing my part. I ask them to explain to me. After the group discussion and after they read, they are the one who actually that tell me what are the component of healthy aging. And then before jumping to one topic to another, I always give a time for them to ask. And this is the conclusion. I believe what makes my approach effective so far, it can be improved over time, but teacher-student interaction. And I would like to engage with them, not just inside the class, but also outside the class. And also openness and a safe place to learn from the mistake. I give a feedback on the spot, and they learn to take it not personally, but professionally. And by seeing that every one of us make a mistake, they learn that it's a normal part of learning. Then they're gonna have a safe environment to keep asking, to keep making mistake, something like that. That's what I learned. And I have policy that no one left behind. So I sometimes use the help from teaching assistant to reach out students who are least active in the class because of the language barrier. Yes, and then clear expectation and grading. That's all from me. Thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, sorry. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the demonstration. I find it's really, really good. And the floor is open. If you have any questions, you can raise it. Yeah. I do have lots of like feedback and the questions for you. I really love your course and design. And actually, you mentioned about Taiwanese students. They are usually always 100% like silent when you ask class opinion. And I do have a same experience. So I have a little like suggestions for you. For me, I just appoint Taiwanese student to answer the questions during the class. Calling the name, of course, because I'm the instructor. I feel like I should force you. I use a forcing, not really forcing, but I just call them to answer. And from time to time, and they will gradually realize that they should engage like actively in the class. So and also they will feel like not afraid of like speaking up. Like that's the point of coming to the EMI, because I believe most Taiwanese students they're like writing, reading skills, they are really good, but their speaking skills just like we don't have that environment. But if you want to date back to history, it's like we are not colonized by any English-speaking country before. That's why we don't have this kind of environment. And I think it's good to encourage them. By encourage, I mean like force them and calling their name to speak up English, to exchange ideas. And also another good method is to do like think, pair, share. Because you mentioned about use like 5 slides to recall what you taught like last week. So maybe next time you can try to use like think, pair, share to pair them two in a group to kind of like discuss what we have learned last week. So it's kind of like another way of forcing those Taiwanese students to try to speak English, to recall what they have learned last week. And I really love your course designs, and it's kind of like scaffolding and then kind of like trying to engage everyone into your class. I think that's really good. And also because I'm from like history department, I require students to do assigned reading every week. There was like ranging from 25 pages to 40 pages English. No complaint. I mean, like you come to my class, like you don't get to complain. Sorry. And also and just like your department, sometimes students they find idea and concept very difficult. For example, in 1 week of my Women Through the Ages about women's history, students they have to kind of like encounter these kind of concepts of feminism, post-colonialism, and then lots of like kind of like Foucault, very difficult. And in my class, I always prepare like the questions for them. It's kind of like scaffolding, and these questions are designed in order from the beginning of the article to the end of the article. So they will get an idea about what this article is talking about by looking at those questions. So those questions kind of like pointing the right way for them to read the article. Both. Straightforward and open questions, and we do a little bit of research about how students feel about this kind of like straightforward questions and open question, and they feel like they love open question more. And also those kind of like instructive question. For example, I will give them the question. Always the first question is, what is the main argument of this article? Give me 5 keywords of this article. And also they can discuss with each other of their 5 keywords, because everyone got different ideas about different 5 keywords. And I think that's another way to kind of like inspire them and to kind of engage them into this like in-depth discussion, not just stay at the surface, but really engage the article to see what the author think about. And the open question, of course, in the end, I will ask them, do you agree or disagree with the author and his or her, their opinion, and why? Yes, so I think, but I love your course design. I would love to go. It's aging, aging is really kind to anyone. So we would love to be age healthily. So right, so thank you so much. Just National Taiwan Normal University, and also she's from Department of Chinese, and she's going to talk about emotional intelligence and then learning in selective readings on literature for us. Thank you. Let's welcome her.
Target students are majoring in Chinese literature, and they probably from freshmen, and they are aged about 18 to 19, and their English proficiency level is about A2 to B1 according to the CFR. They are able to read short literary texts. However, they need some support when they need to analyze the literary techniques like symbolism or imagery. And in this lesson, my students are expected to analyze the story, and by identifying how the imagery from heat to cold and the change of the colors symbolizes the tempering of the human will. And second, interpret the character's transformation and using some textual evidence. And third, apply literary techniques and to express their own personal reflections on their self-transformation. So here starts my demonstration. I will treat you like my students from now on. Okay? And here are some guiding questions that I posted on Moodle for our pre-reading. So I hope you went through them and before class and used some of these techniques, like asking yourself if you like the story or not, or checking your understanding and explaining in your own words. This will help you prepare for our discussion today. And as to the previous plot of the story, there are two parts of it. First, forging the swords and the father's sacrifice, right? Do you remember the main point about this part? Yes, Mei Zhenzi's father was a world-famous swordsmith, right? 20 years ago, the king's concubine gave birth of a pure and clear piece of iron. The king ordered it to be forged into swords to protect the kingdom. So Mei Zhenzi's father was chosen for this task. After 3 years of hard work, he forges 2 swords. The female sword to present to the king, and the male sword to keep at home. And about the second part, the male sword's legacy and the mission of revenge. Do you remember what's going on here? Okay, good. The father feared the king would kill him to keep others from getting the sword's power, right? So what did he do? Yes, he gave the male sword to her wife and told her to give it to their son. So when he grew up, he could avenge his father. So the father never returned, and leaving the mother to carry out the legacy and raise their son for the revenge. So let's take a close look at the description here about a sword forging furnace. Okay, we'll see the question. What color changes did the swords go through during the forging process? What did you see? Good. From red to turning little by little turned blue. Good. And eventually it turned as transparent as icicles. So, what do you think the simile, like 2 icicles? Why does the author use icicle to describe the swords? Okay, Sam, you want to say something, right?
What is the icicle?
Yeah, the icicle. So, you know something about icicle. What's that? It's very cold, good, and like really cold metal, right? That's a good start. You notice the physical quality, but think deeper. Why might Lu Xun choose icicle instead of just saying the swords are very cold? What does an icicle suggest beyond its temperature? Okay, good, you are thinking, and you said it's what? Okay, it's sharp and it's clear. Good. So you notice something, right? You notice something that the icicle doesn't only show coldness. It suggests something purity and clarity that symbolizes the spiritual transformation after the suffering. So what might the transformation of the swords from red to blue to transparent symbolize? What do you think? Can someone give me an answer? Okay, Peter, go ahead. You think the change color means something is happening and something is changing. Good. Something is what? Something, the swords. Okay, you think the swords are probably become more powerful and it will be a little different. I think it's a good start because you notice that something is changing. But can you think more about why color change from red to blue to transparent? What might each color represent? Try to connect it to emotions or a state of mind, okay? For example, from an emotion perspective, the change from extreme heat to extreme cold, what does it suggest? Yes, it might suggest to a state of mind or a sense of ultimate calmness that follows intense passion. And from a philosophical point of view, it might represent being within non-being. What's being within non-being? The idea actually reflects Lu Xun's philosophy that true essence arises from emptiness, just like human will. Just like our human will become clear, firm, and pure through trials. So, if we see this process, the process of forging the swords symbolizes the tempering of a person's will or spirit. Who might mirror the process of forging the sword? What do you think about? And explain your reasoning. Good. The dark man. The dark man might mirror the process, but how come? How come? According to the story, did you see this part? According to the story, the dark man too is a wounded soul. He once had a passionate life, but through blow after blow, endless persecution and pain, his emotions have frozen and his heart has hardened. So, all tender compassion and kindness have been driven out, leaving only one emotion behind. And what emotion would be that? The hatred and the desire of revenge, right? So, we can see the dark man symbolizes like the forging of the swords. So, about the dark man, why don't we see the dark man's image in Lu Xun's other works? We can see some echoes of Yu, the Great, Da Yu, and Mo Zi, the Chinese philosopher, Mo Zi. Mo Zi claims that non-aggression, it means Fei Gong, is essential. So he opposed war and worked to protect people. And Yu the Great, what did he do? He controlled the flood, right, to bring peace and prosperity to people. So this reflects Lu Xun's moral vision. The true heroism is not about glory or power. It's about enduring the pain and stand up against, fight for justice for others. So let's focus on this saying. The knights errant and the Maoist is the followers of Mo Zi. right? It means that what the true heroism is fight against injustice for others. So let's pair up, focus on our main character, Mei Jianci, in this story. We work in pairs to find the sentences or scenes in the story that show Mei Jianci's transformation and explain how it parallels the process of forging the sword. You can write a brief analysis, like 1 or 2 sentences with your classmates for each scene or sentence you find. Okay? Good. Time's up. Any group want to share? Okay, your finding is the fight between Mei Jianci and the rat shows his tender and decisive right. In this scene, Mei Jianci was awakened at night by the rat gnawing at a wooden pad. So he tried soft food at first, but that didn't work. When one rat fell into the water vat, he tried to push it down with a reed. The rat struggled, looks in pain, sometimes looked repulsive and sometimes pitiable. So he hesitated. After many attempts, he finally killed the rat on stabbing on it. However, after he killed the rat, he immediately felt guilty, as if he had committed a crime. So you can see the fight between the rat and him. You can see the tender and indecisive character in his heart. When his mother woke up and understood what he had done, her mother said, okay, you want to say, you said it for our class, blah, 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 right? After midnight, you will be 16, thank you, okay? After hearing his father's legacy and last will from his mother, Mei Jianci clenched his fist. Clenched his fist until the knuckles cracked. So you can see the emotion change in this character. You can see the hatred enter his heart and mind and start reshaping him with the spirit of vengeance. So in the end, we will notice how Mei Jianci repeat his mother's words. His mother said, "You must stop being soft now. Take this word to avenge your father." But Mei Jianci is not just saying them, right? He's taking them in as his own words. So you can see the words here, you can find it shows his change. He's not the soft, indecisive person anymore. He is now made up his mind to avenge his father. So after he decided avenging his father, he lay in ambush at the southern gate to assassinate the king. But he failed. And at that time, a dark man showed up to tell him, "Flee quickly, because the man is already know your plan and he sent someone to capture him." Then the dark man told him, demanded Mei Jianci's sword and his life to carry out his revenge for him. At first, Mei Jianci thought the request was strange, right? Because I want to carry out my revenge, and someone showed up to offer me help, but he claimed my life and my sword. But although he hesitated, he was not afraid. For a moment, he was speechless. Then he quickly handed over his life and sword to the dark man. So we want to stop here and ask you guys why. Why would he do that? Can you think about any explanations of his behavior? Okay, you think he might want to show his bravery. Okay, it's one answer. Someone else? Good. Someone said that he just listened to the dark man. Okay, anyone else? Okay, you said that he's fully committed because he handed over his name. I think fully committed is an interesting idea because it means he takes responsibility by sacrificing his own life to accomplish the duty of revenge, right? So after we reading the story, now we want you to create your own symbol. Try to use the symbolism and imagery in your writing. Let's start by creating a symbol that represents yourself. And you can write words on it to show your courage, your sacrifice, or your inner strength. Think about the questions. If your heart was a sword, through what fire has it been tempered? And take a few minutes to draw your symbol and reflect. And next, pick one experience where you went through a big change, like gaining courage or learning patience or overcome something very difficult. So write a short and think about a symbol you just created and write a paragraph like 50 to 100 words explains how this symbol reflects your personal transformation. And finally, pair with your classmates and share your symbols and reflections with them. You try to listen carefully and give some feedbacks and notice what resonates with each other. Okay, here's our, in the end of the class, I will want classmates to share their takeaways from today's class. So I will listen to their takeaways and see how they match our teaching objectives of today's lesson. And I will also tell them for next class, please make sure to pre-read parts 3 and 4 of this story and the story questions I post on Moodles for their preview. That's all for my demonstration today, and thank you very much.
Right, thank you for Professor Lee's demonstration. I feel like, it's really helpful. She uses kind of like, a step-by-step scaffolding method to help us to help students to understand, the content of the module. So I feel like, it's really, really good. So right, the floor is open. If you have any comments and suggestions, please just feel free to raise it. If anyone, please.
Because I teach calligraphy, and so I think we have the same question. So, yes. We want use English explain Chinese or calligraphy, and 我用中文讲哈，我说你要怎么去，不是让它像是在上一个英文课，就是怎么去传达这个中文的这个它的一种，因为比如说我们在在很多诗词的，你看英文的翻译跟读中文的那种，它有一些美学是透过那个语言它是很难 translation 的，那个部分你要我说我们可以去了解一个故事的内容，但是那些文字之间的那种美学是怎么，就是说在你们怎么去解决这个问题？
那我觉得选材其实还蛮重要的，因为有一些中文的文字资料。谢谢。我好紧张哦，我真的我觉得今天来之前我真的很害怕，总算讲完了。然后谢谢老师。然后我其实自己在选材的时候，我换了很多次，所以我其实一开始传上去的其实是一个英文的小说，但是后来我觉得，因为我其实是中文系的，那我确实也知道有一些汉学家，他是会用一些比较好的翻译本去让在国外教书的时候，他们是让他们去读我们的一些简单的翻译本，不会直接先教他们中文这样子，所以我就改成从这个脉络去思考。然后当然我自己是文学背景的，所以我就把小说的教学跟这个中文文本的翻译本的教学结在一起。那我翻译本选择的是一个汉学家，他翻译鲁迅的作品，他们是杨宪益跟戴乃蝶夫妻。那后来他们的这个翻译本在威斯康星大学就是他们在授课的时候，其实他们是教授史记 我忘记是哪一个大学了。那后来他们也有翻译《史记》这个翻译本，那在国外也有在他们的汉学系里面被学生阅读这样子。所以我后来就改成，如果要选择一个中文的翻译文本的话，可能要找一个是好的汉学家，他的翻译文本，他可能才能传达出我们在英文译本跟中文美之间的一个连结，大概是这样。这是我后来的思考。对，谢谢老师。
不好意思，我觉得我可能有点比较相近的背景，就是说，那所以老师的这个授课对象应该是以这个我们 local 的学生，
对，
教他们怎么用英文去讲这些事情。
对。
那比如在 EMI 的这个课程里面会有外国的学生来修中文。
会也会有这样的学生。
所以那这样的学生他们的重点是不是应该他还是想要学中文？如果是
对，那我们就会有中文的小说课让他们来修，然后我们也会有一个英文的课程。那我主要是这几年也跟一些外籍的同学有聊过，那他们其实有反映的是说，好像我们开 EMI 的老师，他们也希望是多元一点的，就是不见得是固定几个老师在开 EMI 的课程，所以他们可以修到更多不同老师的课，可能是他们比较想要的一个面向，这样子。对，谢谢老师。
谢谢。好，既然大家用中文，我个人是非常非常喜欢，因为我觉得中文还有就是比如说书法系很艰困，你要把它变成英文其实很艰困一件事。然后我自己是因为我是做英国史，然后所以我没有这个问题，学生来他一句中文都不能讲，就是来上英国史或是就是法律史啊，还有女性史、男性史，所以他们一定都是读英文的文本。但我知道就是中文这东西非常非常的艰困，就是包括就是 feedback 一下，讲到那个外籍的学生，像就我自己开就是之前开 Women Through the Ages， 它是 Women's History， 然后就会有英国学生来修。我在想可能很多外籍生他只是 exchange students， 然后他根本就不具备中文的能力，但他又很想要去上中文系的课，然后想要知道鲁迅，想要知道书法的时候，我觉得 EMI 的作用应该就是在这边，就让他们至少可以用 minimal 的一些至少可以学到一些皮毛，或者是他可以就知道这个 culture 在做什么这样子。我每次开 EMI 班上大概就是8成是台湾学生，要2成会是就是国外的学生。对，然后台湾学生他刚好他也可以就训练他的口说这样子。
Hello everyone, I am Li-Wen from Chinese Culture University. Okay, it's such a pleasure to have you here for my teaching demonstration. Here is the outline of today's presentation. I will start with a brief introduction to my course and students, followed by a short summary of my lesson plan. And the topic I choose for today is Daphne and Apollo. It is a Greek mythological story from Ovid's Metamorphoses. I actually had taught the story several times before, but today's lesson plan is somewhat different from my previous approaches. The major differences are the target learners and also the language of instruction. My students in the past were English majors, taking a course called Introduction to Western Literature. And my student right now is those from the Department of European American Languages, taking a course called Western Culture and Biblical Literature. So probably I should give a little bit explanation about these changes. Starting from this academic year, the English department of my school have been merged with Russian and French departments to form this new department, European American Languages. And in the past, when we were part of the English department, we provided several different kinds of language training courses for our students. And so literature courses were not primarily responsible for improving students' overall English proficiency. Therefore, in my instruction, I used both Chinese and English, believing and maybe hoping that the support from L1 will be able to enhance my students' interest and motivation in learning. But now, in this new department, the language training is limited to French and Russian only. So what about English? Well, we are integrating English language development into courses focused on literature, linguistics, and culture. In other words, these content-based courses are expected to incorporate EMI strategies. And my course, Western Culture and Biblical Literature, is scheduled for the first year in their second semester. As far as we know, most of our students had taken GPT before, but many of them had only passed the elementary level, which roughly corresponds to CEFR A2 or A2 to B1. That means our student may handle basic communication, but they would struggle with academic writings or abstract discussions. In addition, before they enter university, they have had very limited exposure to Western culture in high school. So in order to help them, we provide approaches to reading their works, this preliminary course for them. And this course will introduce them to different strategies for reading literature, while familiarizing them with some very fundamental literary terms and concepts. And in the second semester, when we move on to Western culture and biblical literature, our course will introduce students to ancient classics and Greek mythology and maybe and also biblical writings, while helping our students to improve their literary vocabulary, reading comprehension, and also critical thinking skills. Daphne and Apollo, the story is scheduled around midterm in the second semester after the creation myth and the Olympian gods. I will divide the class into 3 sections. Before class, the students will be encouraged to start their reading by exploring the leading questions and the guided videos. And during class, we will include both lectures and group discussions. And after class, the students would be invited to choose an assignment that best matches their interest. So the leading questions or the guided videos were designed to catch students' attention or direct their attention to story plots, linguistic and literary style, and also the main themes of the story. But I will just skip this part. Generally speaking, there are several strategies that I would like to integrate into my classroom. But today, of course, it wouldn't be possible for me to cover all of them. However, I had already grouped them into 4 categories: language support strategies, pedagogical strategies, student engagement strategies, and assessment strategies. So I'll just give you just a few examples. Language support strategies, for example, I will use clear and slow speech with visual aids. And then bilingual glossaries would also be provided so as to support comprehension. The signposting phrases will also be provided so as to help students follow the flow and structure of the lesson. For pedagogical strategies, in the very beginning, I will break down the reading context into several smaller chunks so as to provide appropriate scaffolding for learning. And then, since our students are visual learners, I will integrate multimodal materials into my class, such as videos, images, and real-world cases. And for student engagement strategies, there are several of them I would like to try. For example, provide participation points, create a very safe and inclusive environment, and we will have group discussion. I'm going to give them a lot of opportunities to practice academic English. Finally, for the assessment strategies, I try to assess my students from different angles. For example, I would use formative assessment to monitor their learning. I will provide rubrics with both content and language criteria. I will also focus on clarity and logic over grammatical accuracy. And I also will integrate oral and written components into the assignments. For example, these are the options for the assignments for this single story. But I will go back to this part later on after I demonstrate how I teach the story. So to look at the bigger picture, there are basically 8 major sections in my instructional design. Firstly, with visual aids, I will try to get students' attention and to stimulate recall of prior knowledge. Afterward, I will tell them what we will be learning by also teaching the some key vocabularies. And then the content, the reading content, will be presented in smaller chunks with CCQs, the concept checking questions such as, was Stephanie happy about Apollo chasing her? And after we finish the story, I will provide sentence frames for students to organize their ideas so as to express their opinions in English. And any kind of feedback will be welcome, since Nietzsche reminds us that there are no facts, only interpretations. And then I will use different assignments to assess students' performance. And those assignments are designed to help students bridge what they learn in the classroom with the outside real-world experiences, so as to promote long-term retention and then to stimulate creative transfer from literature to life. The whole course is designed for 1 hour, but for today, I will just focus on the first 3 since I only have 10 minutes left. Okay, so let me open another file. Give me a second. So from now on, I'm going to see you as my student. All right. Everyone, welcome back to the world of Greek mythology. So over the past few weeks, we have learned the creation myth, and we also met the 12 Olympian gods and the 2 great gods of earth. How much do you remember? Can you remember what they are in charge of? For example, Zeus right here. He is the god who rules the sky and thunder. And how about this one? Do you remember this one? Poseidon. Good, very good. The god of ocean, the god of the sea. Excellent. So from what we have studied, we know that these gods use their powers to control the whole world. But what happens if a god uses his power to control over a human being, especially when a woman says no? That will bring us to today's focus. But before we move on, please take a close look at these images. So based on what you see here, the useful face, the lyre, the ball, and also the crown made of laurel leaf. Which god do you think this might be? Excellent! Very good, good girl. Yes, this is Apollo. So I believe this lady here sitting in the front had read the leading questions, and probably you had also watched the guided video. Very good. I will give you extra points. So this is Apollo. So he is the god of the sun, famous for music, poetry, and prophecy. And people also believe that he is the one who brings light and truth to our human world. In the ancient time, when people wanted to know something about their future, they will always go to Delphi to ask Apollo's oracle. And then Apollo's symbol include the sun, lyre, and also a crown made of laurel leaves. And why laurel leaves? And why is this laurel leaves always connected to Apollo's symbol of victory? That is a mystery we're going to explore today. So right now, everyone, please take out your textbook and turn to page 114. This story is included in chapter 6. It's a chapter about love. However, Daphne and Apollo is not just about love. The story covers several issues that still matter in the 21st century, such as courtship and gender relationship. Okay, so we have to learn some vocabulary before we move on, but I just saw the sign said 5 minutes left, so I will just skip this. But let me show you. With metamorphosis, we know it means a complete change. Transformation also is a complete change, but how are they different from each other? So the first one, metamorphosis, refers to physical change in form, such as the caterpillar turns out to be the beautiful butterfly. And transformation, it can be referred to the body, the mind, life, or character. So I will move on. Oh, this one is also important. And Laura, the keyword here is a small evergreen tree, or in Chinese we say 月冠树. Okay, so now so you turn to page 114, and then in the very beginning of the story, who is Stephanie? Key question. And then what kind of character is Stephanie? Stephanie was another of those independent, love and marriage-hating young huntress, but I think I will skip right here to save some time. So after I finish reading the paragraph, I will jump to this one. So Stephanie is what? Independent, very good, independent. She makes her own choices. She hates what? Love and marriage, which is common for huntresses in Greek myths. Huntresses are women good at hunting. And then she was whose first love? Apollo's first love, but she didn't feel the same way. So she tried to run away from him. And then let me direct your attention to the second paragraph on page 115. Now we'll read the paragraph and afterward. So from this paragraph, we get the idea that Apollo imagined how beautiful Daphne would look if she changed her appearance for him, and this thought made his feeling even more stronger, like a fire burning in his heart. So the chain of events here will be he saw her, and then he chased her, and then she ran away. And then in here, let me direct your attention to the third paragraph on page 115. So right here, what happened? I'll read the paragraph and afterward. So in her refusal to be caught by Apollo, Daphne called out to her father for help and was transformed into a laurel tree. So the chain of events right here will be Daphne felt hopeless, and then she screamed out for help. Her father changed her into a laurel tree. What was Apollo's reaction after Daphne's transformation? I will read this paragraph and then. So the chain of events right here is that Apollo saw Daphne become the tree and he felt very sad about that. However, he made the laurel tree his symbol for winners and heroes. Finally, how does the tree seem to respond to being Apollo's tree? Let me read this one. So the beautiful shiny leaf tree seemed to nod its waving head as if in happy consent. So it means this shiny tree looked like it was moving her head, saying yes happily. So the key question is right here. Do you think, as a tree, Daphne is truly happy being Apollo's tree and a symbol of victory? Now I'm giving you 30 seconds to think about this question. So now, turn to your partner to share your idea with your partner. Okay, so you can put your ideas into one sentence. If you don't know how to start, let me give you some sentence right here. So with the sentence friends, you can make your own sentence and you share your ideas with your partner. And then you have 30 seconds. Ding! Okay, now, so if you want me to use one sentence to summarize the whole story of Daphne and Apollo, I would say that Daphne says no to Apollo, but loses her freedom to escape him. And even as a tree, she is used to honor his victories. So from here, we can tell that the story is not just about gods and trees. It's not just about love. It's about power, choice, and what happens when someone says no in an unequal gender relationship. So let me invite you to move a step further by working on the projects. So you can choose from the two. I give you two options. First one, you can find a news report that echoes the theme of pursuit, resistance, or transformation in a myth. Or if you like, you can use first-person narration to retell the story from the point of view of Apollo's or Daphne's, exploring inner thoughts and feelings. I think either or this assignment will help you to understand more about courtship and gender and power relations. Okay, so if there are no more questions, I'll call it a day here. So don't forget that next week we're going to read Cupid and Psyche. I will also prepare the leading questions and the guided videos. Have fun. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Chang. Apollo is such a disgusting man. Right, and so
But he is much better than Zeus, right?
Oh yeah, zoo. When you say what does the Zeus in charge of, I was so tempted to say adultery. Like Zeus is in charge of adultery. He's sleeping around with not only women but also, I don't know, like other genders. Yeah, but yeah, thank you so much. Right, so the floor is open. If you have any questions and comments, feel free to have them, to raise them. If anyone. Yeah, please, yes.
我只是想跟李文老师说，我真的很喜欢他的教学。然后我觉得今天的这个教学演示，其实对老师来说好像完全不是一个挑战，就已经是他的日常的教学好像就是如此。然后我们今天只是有机会去了解一下他教学的一个小侧面哦。然后也谢谢老师在课前给我们很仔细的说明了您是如何在课堂中用语言去一些策略去支持学生的语言学习，这样子感觉非常有意思，我学习到很多，谢谢。
我觉得很棒，老师应该教学教了就是非常久，而且就所有的 education 就教育系会讲到的，因为我不是教育系，但是我去年去了 UT Austin 之后，我才学到就是有 acknowledge 认知到 EMI 你必须承认它某种程度上是一个语言课程，所以你要用很多，就你要把学生的 mindset 拉到英文面，所以你会需要这种 warm up activity， 然后甚至是我很喜欢张老师有写那个你有把那 example 写出来，就是叫他们 share 他们的想法的时候，你可以 start with this sentence， 我觉得这蛮重要，因为有时候台湾学生他没有那 English mindset 的时候，他不知道怎么样去表达他的想法，所以给他们那个 example 就其实非常非常的好。然后还有那个 open question 在最后的时候，真的是叫他们 share 他们的想法，我觉得很赞这样子。
刚刚没有给大家机会来做一下。
对，真的，我也想要，有没有？就是马上就脑中就有很多想法，而且又是我有在做的 gender， 就是 gender studies， 那我觉得很棒这样子。OK， 好，非常棒，谢谢张老师。
It's lunch time, so I will just finish it as soon as possible. Okay? Yeah, right now I'm in the National Chang University Department of the E-learning design and management. Okay. All right. That's just. My name is Chen. Okay, my background is got a PhD in University of Southern California and a master degree in University of Illinois. So I'm a more technology-based instructor. So I learned about a lot from you guys. And okay, so I have the 23 SACI journal paper in virtual reality and artificial intelligence. Okay, and I have the 23 National Science and Technology Council project just focused on the VR and the AI. Okay, and also I already used the EMI in my course so many years, and I got 2 certificates. From the first one is from the National Cheng University, the EMI certificate course, and the second one is a certificate in the EMI skill, is a certificate by the Cambridge English Language Center. Okay, today my course, EMI course, I would like to demonstrate you guys is teach how to create the virtual reality environment. In my course, I will just let the student know what is the virtual reality. Then I believe you guys know about this one is a VR helmet. Okay, I have a study in the United States before I returned to Taiwan. You can see this helmet is the original one. The helmet just like the monitor. You can just see all of the 3D model created by the computer, and all of the information is from the laptop. So you can see they have the line connect to the helmet. But right now we have the helmet is all in one helmet. It look like just like your cell phone, and everything is built in the helmet. So you can see that where the VR held, everything is created by the technology. So this means in VR, the student have to learn how to create a 3D model and combine in the VR helmet. So I would like to give you guys 2 examples why we need to use the VR education. And this is my first class to teach a student why we need the VR technology. Okay, the first one is a medical VR education in the learning surgery. I cooperate with the director, Dr. Li, in the National Taiwan University Hospital. I create the virtual reality, teach the medical student to learn how to use the minimally invasive surgery. Okay, let me give you the example of this one very quickly. I'm going to show you the part of this surgery. I'm going to separate this surgery into the 12 steps. I only show you the step 3 because you can see that I use the Unity to create the virtual reality to let the student to know how to operate the surgery. Okay. So this one is right now is doing very popular in surgery because there's a very small surgeon and the medical students need to know how to do that. Before my virtual reality, they doing this one use in the not so many people want to like the heart rate, so they use a pig to practice this one. So use my virtual reality, you can just it's a self-training. Okay, so you need to the cost down, and you don't need to worry about the real patients. Okay, and you can practice skill development. You can practice many times of you want. Okay, and this is a realistic simulation. So VR just let the student use a helmet and the practice is in the real environment. And also I told you before the cost efficiency is cost down. So even the medical school is very rich, but we don't want to just spend a lot of money, and we want to just let the cost effective. And the patient safety, of course, you guys know we don't want to use the real person in this one. So we are training surgery use a VR simulation is more likely to perform safer, faster, and more accurate in these procedures. Okay, that's I already showed you guys before. And also the second example, I'm going to teach the student why we need to use the VR education is the science. There's so many, for the K-12, we have so many science experiments, but not so many experience like doing in class because dangerous. Okay, so this one, you can see the science teacher may not have the encourage to student to do the experience or observation due to safety consideration, or also including the equipment cost, difficulty in access resource, and time cost considerations. For example, I create this one, the Changing Earth VR for the elementary school students, and also from the junior and senior high school students. And this course right now is for public, free, for everyone can download my course, okay, in the Ministry of Education website. It's called 变动的大地, the Changing Earth. Okay, so the author is by me, and I use example to show the student if they want to create the virtual reality course, they need to just first one, we have to separate the part of this textbook. So I separate this section to the 6 chapters. I'm going to show you the first chapter. You can see there's a 6 part of chapter of this section. And the student, when they come to this VR environment, they can select the chapter they want. Okay, that's the first chapter. They can just observe the rocks. Okay, in the class, they only show the student the picture of the rock. So they don't have an opportunity to touch or even to do the experiment. So you can see this one, okay, they have the two hands. They can just take the rock to observe it and also to do the experiment. For example, I'm going to show you the real situation in the virtual reality. I already captured in a movie to let you guys can see this one. Okay, so you can see I wear the helmet. This one is the screen capture of the real environment in the VR. Okay, so the student can just select the chapter. Okay, maybe that's a little bit delay of this one. That's okay. I just skip it this one. Okay, I'm going to I'm going to just use another software to open this movie. Okay. Okay, so you can see that when the student come into this one, they can take this one. The liquid is dangerous, so that's why the teacher will not let the student to do this experiment. So you can see they have the bubble on the rock. That's the chemical effect of this rock. So that's a really good example for you guys can know why the school teacher not give the student opportunity to do this experiment. Okay, I'm just going to pause this movie and just go on to the next page. Okay, so in my course, I'm going to teach your student how to create the VR environment. Okay, and they need to know how to create this one. The first step is design 3D models. Okay, and the second one, import a 3D model in Unity. And the third step is to create a virtual reality environment. Okay, and in my course, this course is EMI course. I already doing this one so many years. Okay, and in my website, I have the YouTube playlist, and I put all of the YouTube movie in my Chiu-Jung University learning website, so students can just not only know how to create in my class, but also they can use their spare time to practice this one. All of my EMI course, I'm not only one EMI course, I have the 4 EMI courses. Okay, so you can see that 4 courses I created a YouTube playlist. For example, this one, they have the 84 movies. So the student can just learn how to create the VR by themselves. And I give you an example, that's an EMI course. The sound a little bit. So you can see I speak English in this YouTube. Okay, I let the student how to create the 3D model. After that, import to in Unity. This is the screenshot of the Unity. So I just recording every step I doing in the Unity. Okay, and speak English to the student, and also this is bilingual. I speak the Chinese and the English. Okay, thank you so much for you guys listening. That's my EMI course in virtual reality. Thank you.
Thank you for Professor Chen's demonstrations. I found it really interesting and insightful, especially with the list of videos that you create on YouTube. So students can follow Professor Chen's instructions quite easily.
Mm-hmm.
They can do it at home, right?
Right.
They don't have to do it on class.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. Right. Sorry about that. Do you have any does anyone have any questions, comments about Professor Chen's demonstration, or any suggestions? This work fine. Well, I might take a liberty.
Sure.
Moderator.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So, just a quick question. Do you have peer review or peer discussions activity during the class, so they can kind of review each other's product about the VR? Because I suppose they will create their own VR in class. So do they viewing others' work and giving each other's opinion, comments, and discussion discussion about each other's works or not?
Okay, thank you for your question. Yes, I have the peer review for the students. Every course when I just teach the student one more step, I will just we will create a discussion board in the e-learning course. Okay, let the student to do the screenshot and post their screenshot, and I will know if they finish this step or not. And also, I will just, sometimes the student fall asleep or maybe just forget that I'm teaching, so I use the Ruvio. I believe the National Taiwan Normal University, you have this APP. And use a Ruvio, I can use my cell phone to send the questions to their cell phone or their screen. Yes, and they will know I will ask them questions and remind them what I'm doing.
Do they usually, follow up, or there are some people, left behind?
Yes.
Left behind,
yes,
follow up?
I understand.
I would be that person.
Okay.
Left behind and couldn't catch up.
Yeah. So that's why I use so many tools to remind you. If someone maybe the screenshot, they don't send me the feedback or send a screenshot, and I will know they may be just behind us. So I will go into their position to check the status of their computers. Okay.
Well monitored. How many students are usually?
Usually 30 to 40 students. Yeah. Yes, a lot. Yes, but I cannot just limit the student to join my course because my course is very hot, very popular. Yes, there's so many students want to join because I teach them a very new technology. I not only teach virtual reality, also teach the augmented reality, AR, 扩增实境, and the AI, artificial intelligence.
AI is the future.
Yes.
And that's
Okay.
where money goes.
Right. Okay. So I right now have so many speech regarding to AI, artificial intelligence. I just use for example, maybe you guys just know the ChatGPT, and you just type the question and it just responds to you, right? That's not the real power of ChatGPT. For example, you can just draw a picture. Do you know the copyright? If you draw the picture or by the AI, by the ChatGPT, you don't have the copyright. But right now in currently Taiwanese law, if you draw part of the picture, then let the AI to produce a part of this one, just extend it. Then you have a copyright of this painting.
Why is that a loophole?
Yeah, that's a law. That's a law. Yeah. Let me explain in Chinese. 就是说，如果你画一个图，很多人不晓得，如果我用 AI 产生一个图，对不对？你没有那个 copyright， 对不对？但是如果你画了一张图，比如说你画了一个，然后我可以用 AI 哦，用你的格式，用你的画风，哦，继续延伸出一些东西，但是那是你由你的画风延伸出来的，所以整图的著作权 copyright 还是属于你的，而且你有它的 copyright， 这是最新的那个法律的那个嘿。是，
像之前不是很多人会拿照片变吉卜力嘛？
对对对，
都没有 copyright。
对，那吉卜力画风就没有 copyright。
因为画风是人家。
对不起，我的手机在，我秀给你们看一下。这是我教学生，就是说这是那个你们可能只知道说 ChatGPT 只能就是说，回答你们一些问题，但是现在 ChatGPT 5.0以后啊，它可以做很多绘画的东西。
5.0现在是要付费了吗？
不用付费。不用付费，但是你付费的话，也不用付费的情形，你的那个使用的次数有限。但你付费以后，次数会变多。对，那这个是我去演讲的时候，然后我带领学生的这个作品，啊，可以看到哈，就是说这是学生画的一个作品，好，大家看得出来吗？哈，对，它旁边是不是留很多空白？对不对？好，留白没有什么问题哈。那我就问他说：“那你希望这个故事的背景或者想延伸什么？”他就跟我讲说，他这一只是一只雪豹，然后呢，里面呢是他的朋友，然后呢，他说他是在森林里面。我说：“哦，对，你好像没有把森林画出来，对不对？好，然后你没有说其他的一个场景，所以你看原图是这样，对不对？那我就帮他，就是按照他的意思，在 AI。”生成以后变这样，
然后这个图它就有版权，
是不是这个图还是他的？因为用他的完全用他的画风出来的，对不对？对不对？很厉害，对不对？他帮你补的多漂亮啊！而且完全，哈？
荧幕可以掉。
荧幕关掉了，抱歉。就像这样。好，所以呢，这个刚刚有一个美术系的老师，本来他刚才就问我这个问题，我刚才给他看，他就吓了一跳。好，然后还不止哦。我说，那你的故事是不是就是说你还有一些想法嘛？就是说，他就希望说他是往前走啊，然后看这个森林啊，然后他的2个好朋友会出来啊，对不对？好，然后我就把它变成了动画。
动画也是。
对。这个话就不是 ChatGPT 了，这个叫做 Vidu。对，现在有很多这种的 AI 啊，大家老师有看到吗？就这样，对。老师这边可以再给你看一下，它就可以跑出来，对，它就变成动画。那这些的版权都会是属于你的，对，因为你自己有画一些嘛，主体是你画的，好像这样子，
感谢老师，
谢谢。对，我还有很多东西啊，就是 AI， 就是不是像很多人都以为说 ChatGPT 就是问，然后觉得那 AI 有什么好？其实 AI 还有很多东西，还有很多东西是可以就是说扩增出来，而且我教他们是符合合理的去使用，我不是教他们就说是一个去抄袭呀，或一个这个东西，对，那我就用这个东西就是让他们了解，好，其实 AI 怎么样站在一个合理使用的范围，可以扩增你的东西。OK， 谢谢。
作为 moderator， 就是今天就很感谢大家，然后我觉得我学到非常非常多这样子，那也谢谢大家。